What are you doing in my swamp?
Hello everybody, this is Ogre Boy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 1977 movie, The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. So this is Disney's take on Winnie the Pooh, and it's actually the last of the package films too, because this is actually a package film with 3 Winnie the Pooh shorts tied together, and they tie them together perfectly where it feels like a regular theatrical movie. But the first short is Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree, where at the beginning of it we're introduced to Winnie the Pooh, and he's trying to get the honey out of the tree from the bees and stuff, and of course they go after him and everything, and so he goes to Rabbit to eat some honey, and he ends up eating all of Rabbit's honey and becomes super fat, and he gets stuck in Rabbit's hole but he gets stuck, and they have to wait days and days and days for him to lose enough weight to get out of it and everything. And this segment always has cracked me up. I've always loved this one. The part when Rabbit tries to draw a moose on Pooh's butt just cracks me the heck up. I don't know why, but I just always found it to be really amusing. And just that whole segment when he's stuck and everything, he's talking to Gopher, and Gopher's they make the little reference that Gopher's not in the books because he's the original character created by Disney to be added into the story and everything. I love that little meta humor, and just that whole first segment is a blast and everything. And then you get to the second segment, which is just as good to me. I think all 3 of them were about on the same level, but this one might be my favorite one because it's the one I actually had individually on VHS as Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day, where Pooh thinks it's Wednesday because the wind is blowing like real crazy and everything, and he's trying to save Piglet from flying away and everything. And then later that night he meets Tigger, who tells him about Heffalumps and Woozles, and he has this really crazy trippy dream about Heffalumps and Woozles. It's always been one of my favorite moments because the song is just really catchy and everything, and it's kind of reminiscent of Pink Elephants on Parade. I think they even reused some of the animation from that in it, but I love the whole Heffalumps and Woozles segment and everything. And then of course his house gets flooded and everything, and Owl's house falls down, had fallen down because of the storm and everything. So Piglet gives Owl his house and everything in a sweet little moment and everything, and Pooh's like, "You'll come live with me." Really sweet moment and everything that they never really continued that in any of the Winnie the Pooh continuations, unless they did on the TV show where Pooh and Piglet lived together and everything. I always thought that was kind of weird, but of course maybe they only lived together for a short time, but that was a great segment. And then the last one is Rabbit is trying to get rid of Tigger, so they go far into the woods to try to get Tigger to get lost and everything, and Rabbit ends up being the one getting lost. I always found that one to be a fun one too. It kind of had a little bit of a creepiness to it when I was a kid, but when Rabbit was like lost and hearing all the noises and stuff, I always thought that part was creepy when I was a kid. As an adult, I don't really think it is. I think it's more funny than creepy and everything because of the way Rabbit's face is and everything, and the way he's tripping out and freaking out. It's a lot of fun. And then after that, Tigger and Roo go bouncing, and they bounce too high up into this tree, and Tigger gets scared and doesn't want to come down from the tree and everything. He's scared to jump down and everything, and Pooh and them have to convince him to do it and everything. It's a fun time and everything, and it's a really, really fun moment. And then after he does finally get down, Rabbit tries to tell him that he shouldn't, that since he had promised that he wouldn't bounce anymore, he couldn't bounce anymore, but everyone felt bad for him, so of course he was able to start bouncing again. It's just a really fun moment and everything. And then you get the awesome little touching scene of Christopher Robin and Pooh walking and everything. One of the most iconic scenes where they're having their little talk and everything. It's a really great moment and everything about being friends forever, even though Christopher Robin's about to start going to school and stuff. But it's just a really fun movie. And this movie, it's not necessarily anything that's like strong on story. Like, it's not trying to tell a groundbreaking story or anything. It's just short little simple tales of Winnie the Pooh and his friends and everything, and they're just charming and so much fun and everything. They're full of innocence, and you can't help but love these characters and everything. They're all really lovable and everything. And when I think of stuff that I really loved as a kid that I think is just as charming now as an adult and everything, Winnie the Pooh is one of those things. Like I can get enjoyment out of all of it. I know it is aimed a lot more at the younger kids, but I've loved this ever since I was a kid and everything. I always forget how much I love Winnie the Pooh. I just find it to be a really, really entertaining movie and everything. So I really loved it, and I thought it was a really, really good movie and everything. And each segment is great. Like I said, the Blustery Day one is probably my favorite, though, because it's the one I have the most nostalgia for. But it's still, like I said, just a really fun time and everything. And it's fast-paced. The movie's only an hour and 13 minutes, and it flies by and everything. Every time I watch it, it goes by super fast. And it works great. And the animation is pretty good. It does have a little bit of what I call the sketchy animation, where you can see the lines a little bit and everything. But it's not, like, overly done in that like it is some of their other movies and everything. But I also just really enjoy being with these characters and everything, and they're all voiced by great actors. Everybody who does the voices of their characters are great. Sterling Holloway was really excellent as Pooh, although I would be lying if I said that I kind of prefer Jim Cummings as Winnie the Pooh, and that's partially just because he's the Pooh of my childhood and everything. He was on in a lot of the Winnie the Pooh movies that I watched as a kid that came out as when I was a kid and everything. I kind of grew up at a good time to be a Winnie the Pooh fan, so because we got a lot of good ones as a kid that I watched as a kid, and I'll be reviewing some of those movies too over the next few months and everything. If not later this month, I'll start them in February. I might play catch up on some of these Disney franchises that I'm behind on in February, but yeah, I absolutely love The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. There's not much else I can say about it. It's just a really, really fun, heartfelt, good time, and it's just a really great time and a really, really sweet movie and everything. It's one of Disney's most wholesome movies and everything, but I absolutely love it. So I'd say I'd give The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10 out of 10. I don't do this very often anymore, but this one, I can't think of anything wrong enough to give it less than that. It's just a really good movie, and it's easily the best of the package films for sure, and everything. And have a good day, everybody.